the first thing you're going to want to do is go to www.firebase.com. Now you're going to need to log into your Google account, your Gmail account here, to use Firebase because Firebase is a Google product. It is a basically database as a service product. And what that means is they offer all kinds of database stuff to make it easy to build your app and not worry about managing your data. And you can kind of read through their whole spiel here. Build apps fast without managing infrastructure, backed by Google, one platform, all of that stuff. But the idea here is just that they do a lot of the work for you so that you don't have to think about how to make your app work. It just does. And I think that's really nice. And so all you have to do is, if you log in, you'll see this button up here that says Go to Console. Does everybody see that button that says Go to Console? Click that button called Go to Console, and it should take you to your Firebase Console screen, where you'll have options for different projects you might have created. And so if you see this, you're good to go. If you don't see this, it'll have a button that says Create Project or Create a Project or something like that. We're going to do that together. Are you ready? So see that button right there that says Add Project or Create a Project, maybe, if it's the first time there? Click that button. It's going to ask you for a project name. So you can enter in whatever project name you want here. What should we call this project? Upperline app. Cool, and it doesn't really matter what you call it, but I always put dashes in between it because it's going to give it a name with dashes anyway. So I've just gotten used to doing that, and I usually do it all lowercase also because that's exactly how it appears in the default ID. Now once you've specified a project name and you click Continue, it should tell you all about this stuff. It'll say, hey, set up Google Analytics for my project, or all that stuff. It doesn't really matter if you do this or not, to be honest, right now, but I'm just going to click, actually, not right now. We'll deal with that later. Just because all of this stuff is managing how your app works, and we don't need that for the time being. So click Not Right Now, but if you want to go in and set up the Google Analytics, feel free to. So then click Create Project, and it will create your project. Oh, did someone already steal that name from me? Amazing. In the time, yeah, so
So we all have to have different names.
that is correct. Well,
Wow.
here's the thing. So if I go in here and I call this Upperline App Now, it'll give it a new ID name. See how I just gave it like 66084? Since we all tried to create at the same time with the same ID, it'll say no. So you need to make your own version right now. And now I'm going to call it something else because I want to be cool and unique. Upperline Project. Cool, amazing. Continue. And I'm going to click Not Right Now, create my project, and it's going to say Creating Your Project. It's going to take a few seconds. It's going to put together all of your cool stuff, set your database up for you, provisioning resources. Now you only have a certain number of projects you can create, by the way. So at the end of this, I'll probably go in and delete this whole project after we finished it, but it is nice to actually see it in action first. Now when it says your new project is ready, click Continue. This might take a second, maybe a couple seconds. Don't worry about it. Now when you do click Continue, it'll take you to your dashboard. And this dashboard here is where you want to be to make sure that your project is set up. And you'll see on the left the things, the services that Firebase offers are authentication, database, storage for things like videos and music and audio and whatever else you want to do, hosting to make your app actually work, or like to put it online so people can access it, functions, which are just functions that run in the cloud where you can communicate with other services, send information, and then the ML kit, which is for machine learning and other things. Like maybe you want to do facial recognition or things of that nature. And so Firebase integrates all of that into one individualized system. The only one we're really going to need to use is the authentication, the database for today, but we'll go into the rest of it later. Now, it says add an app to get started. You see that? Click the one for the web. Now, if you click iOS or Android, you can do that as well, but the one we need is the one for the web. So all you do is click add an app to get started. I click web, register app nickname. This one's going to be called the Upperline Project. You can name yours whatever you want. And I'm going to register my app. It's going to take a second, and it's going to give me this information right here. This is what you're going to need to get this set up. So once you see that screen up here, you are ready to go. But I don't want you to leave the screen right now because we're going to need it as soon as we set up our app. Cool? Any questions?
Should we set up hosting?
Don't worry about hosting. We'll deal with hosting later on. Cool? Amazing.